The first thing I want to talk about in Capture 2019 are the improvements to the working environment. So they are general user interface improvements and enhancements that will have you work faster and without losing your context, let's say. The first thing I would like to show you is, take for example, you're working with a filter, adding or removing layers to it. Then for some reason you need to take a look at something else in the project to verify that it is indeed the right layer you're about to remove from your filter. So you might switch to the selected items and check something out with the fixture before you go back to the filters category again. Now, as you can see in Capture 2019, the filter I was in is still selected, and so is the layer that was selected before. Whenever you change categories in any of these views in Capture, your current selection, column widths, and column sorting are remembered. This may seem as a bit of a trivial thing, but we've seen that in fact it's very important and prevents you from making mistakes during editing. So by making sure everything remembers and remains just where you left it when you come back to it is a big enhancement for the workflow. This applies not only to the categories of the Design tab, but also to the tabs, the Fixtures and Universes tabs that also remember your current selection, column widths, and column sortings. And not only is it remembered as you are running Capture, it's also remembered when you save and reopen the project file. So everything is just where you left it last time. With Capture 2019, Capture remembers the positions of the windows so that when you undock them, they reappear in the same location, on the same screen, and maximized if they were maximized when you closed them. This is saved both during the session as well as in the project file, so that if you save and reopen a project file, it opens the same way that you left it, re-undocking any views that were undocked when you saved the file. For your working environment, we've also added the ability to open a few extra views. We call them floating tool panes, and they're available from the window menu. Here you can open, for instance, the selected items category from the Design tab, as well as the layers, filters, materials, the Fixtures tab, and the Universes tab. And these can coexist, or they do coexist, with the existing tabs in the project window. So this gives you extra flexibility to lay out your workspace on a multi-monitor setup. And just as with the views I showed you before, Capture will also remember the current selection, column widths, and column sorting of the floating tool panes. Finally, for those of you working on large screens, that is ultra-wide or 4K screens, we have added an extra main window layout, or arrangement as we call it, that we call wide. This one doesn't work very well on my setup here, but if you have an ultra-wide or a 4K monitor, this setup works really well. What happens here is that if you maximize a design view, it only overlaps the other design views and keeps your project window available at all times.